I am for sure the clumsy one in the relationship. Hi everyone, I'm Jeff.
I'm Lindsay.
And we're in a little bit of an unconventional relationship. Well, maybe not a little bit, a lot unconventional. Massive age gap. And the most frequent question we get is, how did this happen? And so we're going to start by sharing our story, and hopefully that adds value to you, your story, and your relationship. Now, 3 years ago tomorrow, September 7th, 2024, which means way back in September of 2021, we met for the very first time. How did we meet, Lindsay?
So, fall of 2021 was my first semester of college actually in person. And I remember walking up the stairs to my second floor classroom and seeing some person in front of me kind of wobbling up the stairs in front of me. And I walk into the classroom and lo and behold, Dr. Barnes walks in.
I was the professor. This was her first face-to-face class. She had gone the year before when everything was online. It was the first face-to-face class for me in more than a year and a half, and would end up being the very last class that I taught following a 22-year career in higher education. My writing and speaking was taking off to a point where I decided that semester to exit out of that career so again I could write and speak full time, and Lindsay was a student in the very last class I ever taught. But here's an important point. As much as people want to make it scandalous because it's a professor and a student, nothing happened during that first and final semester. How exactly did this continue past that semester?
So the class ended December 9th, I think.
It did.
Life went on. I went back home and was just mindlessly scrolling through social media on December 24th of that year. I came across a post of somebody in the back of an ambulance. Out of concern, I texted one of my former classmates and just said, "Did you see what Dr. Barnes posted?" We both agreed the next day to just reach out to him, make sure he was okay.
Yeah, I had gone to Boston to spend the holidays with friends and woke up on Christmas Eve morning, had an accident on their stairs, took a horrific fall, suffered a concussion, broken rib, 5 spinal fractures. I am for sure the clumsy one in the relationship. Lindsay and another student happened to see that on social media, and both of them decided to reach out and make sure that I was okay. What did that text message look like?
So I sent him a text that said something along the lines of, "I saw what happened on social media. I know this isn't the ideal Christmas, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm praying for you."
Yeah, and when you're alone in a hospital bed in Boston, Massachusetts, on the other side of the country, and it's Christmas Day, you get a message like that, it means something to you. But I think more importantly, Lindsay stayed in contact, making sure that I was okay once I got out of the hospital, curious about when I was going to get home, making sure that I had the help necessary once I was home. And we just kept those conversations going over the next several weeks, and as a result, we learned a lot about each other. I only knew her as a student, she only knew me as a professor, but during the course of those texting conversations, I learned about her, I learned about her family. I discovered that we had very similar interests, to include Disneyland, baseball, music, and so really over the course of those text conversations over the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, we really formed a friendship.
We did, and for the first 6 months, I tried to tell him that it was just that. It was just a friendship. There was nothing else going on. It didn't matter that we had already said we loved each other, that we were holding hands, that we saw each other every second we possibly could. I told him it was just a friendship, which after 6 months, I finally said, you know what? This obviously is not just a friendship. We kind of backdated it to say that we had been dating for 6 months.
So here's a tip for the guys out there. Don't listen to what they say. Pay attention to what they do. She responded to each and every text message. She came over as soon as she returned to school in January of 2022, and we just kept hanging out. And over time, kept doing things together, like going to Disneyland for the first time in January, and then on into February, March, April, so on and so forth. That created the bond that wasn't just a friendship, but ultimately the relationship that we enjoy and you get to see today?
I think the biggest thing for us was, for the first year, we were just kind of hanging out and doing fun things together, but there wasn't a clear goal inside, a shared goal. And so there was a lot of anxiety for the both of us created around the fact that we didn't really know where this was going. We didn't know what it was going to turn into.
Yeah, I think we were both fine having the friendship. We both enjoyed going places together, doing things together. But at the end of the day, for this to truly be a relationship that had any kind of future, we had to get on the same page about some sort of shared goal. It's great that you have common interest. It's great that you have shared taste. It's great that you go places together, you do things together. But at the end of the day, what are you working on together? That was sort of a tough lesson for us to learn, because days at Disneyland were great, ballparks were great, concerts were wonderful. But at the end of the day, what does it really mean and what does it really matter? Not just to each of us, but ultimately to us. That might be our first encouragement to everyone. Have common interest, do things together that both of you like, and make sure that you have some sort of shared goal. You know, for us, that meant, what is this relationship about? Where are we going? What are we ultimately going to do about how much time we like spending together? In spite of the fact that there were people who had massive concerns, fair concerns, grave concerns over us being together given the huge age gap. And I think what really turned the corner, and I want you to think about this for just a moment, what really turned the corner is there were a million reasons for why this wouldn't work. But at the end of the day, we both decided that our lives would not work if either one of us were no longer in it. That's what got us on the same page. That's what got us on the same shared goal of ultimately getting engaged June of 2023, and then married last December 16th of 2023. So again, shared interests are great. Doing things together that both of you like are awesome. But if you're in a relationship right now and you're struggling, or you're looking to take it maybe a little further, maybe a little deeper, come up with a shared goal that both of you can agree on and both of you can work on, because we get better as a result of those challenges, and I think sometimes better even as a result of conflict. A lot of us want to run away from conflict. I would challenge you to embrace the conflict, use the conflict, those differences, to come up with a shared goal that, again, both of you can be working on together.
Exactly, and the goal doesn't necessarily have to be big. It doesn't necessarily have to be getting married. And now that we are married, the question might be, what is our shared goal? And I know that we have quite a few small goals that we want to do weekly, and this channel is one of those. This channel is going to consist of some relationship advice, a little bit of our story and how we've made this work, probably a lot of videos from Disneyland and Universal Studios, Walt Disney World.
Yeah, we love our life together, and we get to go to amazing places. We get to do awesome things. We're going to invite you in to join us on that journey, and along the way, we're not just going to have fun, but we want to share what this relationship is like, the way that it's growing, where it is ultimately going, and the lessons that we learn along the way are lessons that we really hope can help you in wherever you are in your life, and most importantly, in your relationships.
So be on the lookout for a video that we're going to release within the next couple of days that is not very cohesive in any way, but it's very lighthearted. If you want a giggle, if you want an insight into how intolerable we can be to be around, that's probably a good video to watch.
Yeah, it's just a fun day at Disneyland, disjointed. We go to about 8 different attractions in a very short amount of time, but we had a great time filming it, and we can't wait to share it with you. Now, they ask that you walk to your next destination, but they don't say how fast you can or cannot walk.
Go, 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 go!